Right, I think it's the 1st of April. Anyway, it's Easter Monday 2024 and we're up here. We've just done the last of the layers, and as a reminder, that's what the forky sticks look like. And there's supposed to be a gap between here and the top is supposed to be 90 degrees to the main axis. If it's at an angle like that, it tends to wobble about. I drive them in with the drywall with it upside down. I find that's a lot easier than, say, using a sledgehammer. So it's dug in there. I've used the bill hook, chop away at the bottom of the, I suppose it's the layer. When it's buried in the ground, and all the material, including the plants, etc., is chucked back in on the top. There's one there. There's a stool there, a stool there, a stool there. So it's kind of in a gap. Never falls right in the middle of the gap. There's one over here, which is designed to kind of replace this one. If deer get in again this year, they'll chew that to pieces again. They might not survive. We've got nice wildflowers up here. Let's go and have a wander. This is last year's cant, and this is about the limit of where I was cutting. Previous cutting was done by my neighbours. We didn't protect the stalls, so we've got a lot of, oh dear, what they're called, not red currants, raspberries, and a lot of brambles in there, and some racks of brambles over where they put their brash. So this lot here has got away. Some of it I've moved. That's this year's cant over there, with a thin dead hedge from last year. This dead hedge is from the year before. And that's still fairly wide, but not as high as it was. Because part of the idea of the dead hedge is it slowly mushes down. And by year 7, it's almost completely gone. So whoever comes in here to cut this will have their way clear to amalgamating this cant and that cant, or this cant and that cant, or whatever. Up to agreement between them and the farmer. Because I'll have moved on. And up here, got a patch of wildflowers, got primrose, and wood anemone that hasn't flowered. And these are wildflowers too, but they'll be flowering later. Jolly good nectar source, but a pain in the bum if you're reworking the coppice and there's too much of it. Dreaded brambles. More wood anemones. Someone's been up here with a 12 bore some years ago. Bluebells starting to come. This is the dead hedge here. There was a gap there. It's still thinner than I'd ideally like. Do you see it? That's my eye level. And a bit lower than I'd ideally like, but with all the brambles and everything next door, which was cut and not protected 4 or 6 years ago, Bambi hasn't got much of a run up. That's the dead hedge here. That's the view down the hill. This is the same bank here that carries on next door where we built our dead hedge this year, I think. It's kind of difficult in a woodland to keep track of it. And through here, we'll get prickled now. It's a Dorset gate that's well grown in. Another Dorset gate next door, and another length of dead hedge, just a short one, and a big rack of brambles on top of brash where my neighbours just chucked it, and I've incorporated that into the dead hedge. So that's the story here. Last year's firewood pile, now mostly gone. What I intend to do with that, because some of that's a bit far gone to be firewood, as it starts to spalt and then slowly rot, hopefully it won't rot very quickly because it's underneath that tarp, it loses some of its firewood value because the fungi that get into the wood inevitably are breaking it down, but it might make quite nice barbecue charcoal. So what I intend to do is come up here with an oil drum charcoal kiln and make some charcoal. I'll do that in the summer. Go up here summer evenings, make some charcoal and have a little bit of a barbecue. Oh, never know, I might bring a friend. There you go. You've only ever heard me in my videos, but I do have friends, honestly. Right, this is what deer do in 1 year. Or this is probably several years, this one here. Some of these, that's probably several years as well. Let's go and look at that one over there. This looks like it's several years old. It's got that black colour. Let's find the one I definitely cut last year. This doesn't fit the bill. Ramble, ramble. It kind of gets difficult to tell if they'd all grown without the deer eating them. This one was definitely cut last year. So this is deer chewing away at it for a year, nice and straight from the bottom, see? And then it's got to here and it's been chomped off 1, 2, 3 times. The same with this one. So they only have to get in briefly and spend a night in here hungry, and they gobble away, and yeah, your stalls are knackered. These ones are all definitely cut last year, and those ones down there I cut this year. So hopefully they'll grow away and do well. But this cant is a bit of a bodge, because bits I cut, bits my neighbours cut, it's all different sizes and lengths, so it won't be terribly saleable. But if it's chucked in with that cant, it should reward somebody enough for them to want to cut it. Right, stop that there and go and do some more stuff while we got some daylight. Need to move that, for instance.